The manufacturer of NuvaRing may be liable for damages, and you may be entitled to a significant cash award. There is absolutely no risk on your part. You're successful.
Call the Relion Group right now to be connected with an experienced attorney for a free consultation.
Do not delay. There are time deadlines to file a claim.
If you or a loved one have been injured by the contraceptive NuvaRing, call the Relion
prayers
Group.
and sins and stars. 1, 2, 3.
Health alert. Individuals with kidney problems. If you received an MRI with contrast, then develop skin problems including thick and hard skin, stiff joints, or limited mobility, compensation may be available. Call 1-800-LAW-5755 for a claim evaluation.
Attention, this is a legal alert for former patients of Dr. Nikita Levy at Johns Hopkins Hospital's East Baltimore Medical Center.
Johns Hopkins Hospital and law enforcement are investigating the unauthorized photographing and videotaping of certain patients who were treated by Dr. Nikita Levy since 1988. If you were treated by Dr. Nikita Levy, your privacy may have been violated. Call Science and Kirk right now at 1-800-522-0102. That's 1-800-522-0102.
Liver damage victims.
Tylenol and several other pain relievers have been linked to liver failure. If you were ever hospitalized for liver problems, call the Goldwater Law Firm right now.
Call us right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation.
We are only representing victims who died or were hospitalized for a liver injury after taking Tylenol. Call 1-800-750-5151. That's 1-800-750-5151.
Attention ATV accident victims. Handler Henning and Rosenberg is representing victims who were injured or killed while driving Yamaha Rhino ATVs. Rhino ATVs are defective and prone to rollover. Call 1-800-LAW-4000.
If you are one of the many who suffered from food poisoning because of contaminated peanut butter, you may be entitled to a cash award.
If you were hospitalized or if someone you know died from contaminated peanut butter, call attorney Jim Adler right now.
If this has happened to you, keep the jar. If you've been hospitalized, you may be entitled to a cash award.
Some Peter Pan and Great Value peanut butter has been recalled. Keep the jar and call attorney Jim Adler now at 713-777-4000.
If you had a claim denied or your health coverage canceled by Assurant Health, Time, or Fortis, call attorney Ken Nugent now.
These companies let some people go without treatment because it got too expensive. Courts have recently awarded $8 million and $38 million to victims who had their health coverage dropped or denied.
Call me right now. You may be entitled to a large cash award.
If any of these companies denied your claim or canceled your health coverage, call 1-800-CALL-KEN. 1-800-CALL-KEN.
An important alert for MRI and MRA patients and their families. FDA reports indicate gadolinium containing contrast agents used in MRIs and MRAs may lead to a serious condition known as nephrogenic systemic fibrosis, or NSF. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with NSF or NFD, or experienced locking joints, eye discoloration, skin rashes, or muscle weakness following an MRI or MRA, you may be entitled to compensation. Call toll-free 800-508-7150.
An important message from Parker & Wakeman for people who have taken the prescription drug Vioxx. The manufacturer of Vioxx has recently pulled this popular arthritis drug from the market over health concerns. Recent studies show users of Vioxx may suffer heart attacks, strokes, and even sudden cardiac death. If you've taken Vioxx, call Parker & Wakeman now. You may be entitled to compensation. Call Parker & Wakeman today at 1-800-LAW-INFO. That's 1-800-529-4636.
Now one.
If you had an IVC filter implanted to prevent blood clots, please listen closely. The FDA reports that IVC filters can break, causing heart damage, lung damage, and internal bleeding. If you had an IVC filter implanted and the IVC filter broke, moved, or fractured, causing heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, death, or if it can no longer be removed, you may be entitled to substantial money damages. Call attorney Brian Longcar at 1-800-285-4878. Call 1-800-285-4878.
Attention diabetics, if you've experienced pancreatitis, kidney failure, or
Goodbye,
thyroid cancer after
How
injecting
did no
diabetes
one
medication,
receive a
you deserve
marshmallow?
compensation. Call 1-800-LAW-FIRM now.
Attention prescription painkiller users.
If you were hospitalized for a painkiller overdose, or if a loved one died from an overdose after taking a prescription painkiller, call the Goldwater Law Firm.
Call us right now. You may be entitled to substantial compensation.
If you were hospitalized for an overdose of prescription painkillers, or if a loved one died from an overdose, call 1-800-971-1000. That's 1-800-971-1000.
Attention.
Fosamax weakens the femur, which is the thigh bone in the leg, and makes it more likely to break.
If you took Fosamax and then broke your leg from a non-impact activity, such as walking or just standing, call us right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation.
If you used Fosamax and then broke your leg from any non-impact or low-impact activity, call 1-800-671-1515. That's 1-800-671-1515.
The heart drug Digitech was recalled due to a manufacturing mistake. If you or a loved one suffered with nausea, dizziness, blood pressure, heart problems, or death, call 1-800-ELK-OHIO, ELK at ELK. Serious Lawyers for Serious Injuries. 60 Minutes recently identified Trasilol, a drug given during heart surgery to cause kidney failure or death. After heart surgery, if you or a loved one suffered kidney failure or death, call 1-800-ELK-OHIO, ELK at ELK. Serious Lawyers for Serious Injuries.
This is a legal alert from the law firm of Science & Kirk for women who may have received transvaginal surgical mesh or a bladder sling for treatment of pelvic organ prolapse or stress urinary incontinence. A high rate of serious and painful complications have been linked to the use of surgical mesh. Call 1-800-583-4444 or visit youhavealawyer.com/mesh for more information. In July 2011, the FDA issued a safety communication to inform medical providers and consumers about the risk of serious complications associated with transvaginal placement of surgical mesh. These products may be referred to as vaginal mesh, transvaginal mesh, pelvic mesh, or a bladder sling. Between January 2008 and December 2010, the FDA had received thousands of reports of complications associated with surgical mesh used for the treatment of pelvic organ prolapse or female stress urinary incontinence. Some of the most frequent complications include erosion, extrusion or protrusion of the mesh through the vagina, shrinkage of the mesh, pelvic pain or discomfort, pain during sexual intercourse, infection, bleeding, organ perforation, and urinary problems. A review of the data led the FDA to conclude that there is no evidence vaginal mesh provides any additional benefit when compared to more traditional treatment options. The lawyers at Science & Kirk are reviewing potential legal claims for women who have experienced serious problems or complications following surgery where transvaginal mesh was used. Call 1-800-583-4444 or visit youhavealawyer.com/mesh to obtain a free and confidential claim evaluation.
This is a dangerous drug alert.
Hello, I'm Terry Crouppen from the law firm of Brown & Crouppen. My law firm fights giant drug companies that make drugs that hurt people. Here's a drug we're tracking right now. The Duragesic patch is a prescription painkiller used for severe chronic pain. It's been recalled because usage of the patch has been associated with serious injury and death. Remember, we're Brown & Crouppen. We fight giant drug companies that make drugs that hurt people. So call us for free at 421.
Attention women. A brand new medical study shows that talcum powder can cause ovarian cancer. If you used talcum powder and were then diagnosed with ovarian cancer, call the Goldwater Law Firm.
Call us right now. You may be entitled to substantial compensation.
If you used talcum powder and were then diagnosed with ovarian cancer, or if a loved one has died from ovarian cancer after using talcum powder, call 1-800-912-4242. 1-800-912-4242.
Bye, Dizzy. Do you have any last words? You may be entitled to a cash award.
Goodbye, if you or someone you know has suffered a heart attack, stroke, or even died while taking Avandia, call attorney Jim Adler right now.
I'm Jim Adler, the tough, smart lawyer. If you or a loved one is taking this drug, call me right now. You may be entitled to a cash award.
If you've taken Avandia and have had a heart attack or stroke, call attorney Jim Adler right now at 713-777-4000.
After my daughter's accident, the insurance company cut off her benefits. My sister said, protect your daughter. Call Lee. Best advice. Lee got my daughter $425,000.
Protect your child. Call 1-800-LEE-FREE.
Warning. Heparin has been linked to hundreds of deaths.
Severe injuries have also been reported. Organ failure, low blood pressure, shock, or even death.
All of these things are indications of heparin poisoning. Call us. You may be entitled to a large cash award.
If you've had any of these symptoms, call 800-513-1600.
Attention women who have suffered from transvaginal mesh patch surgeries.
The FDA has warned against the side effects and complications from the medical device transvaginal surgical mesh.
This is serious. Known as a pelvic mesh or sling, these devices may not meet reasonable safety standards and may be to blame for recurring injuries and painful surgeries. Call Rovin Kaplan LLP right now for a private consultation.
If the transvaginal surgical mesh caused you or a loved one serious injury, this announcement is for you and your family. Call now to protect your rights.
Call Rovin Kaplan LLP now at 800-989-0804.
If you or a loved one have a Guidant or Medtronic
Better win,
pacemaker or
better win.
defibrillator, or have suffered
win
injury, heart attack,
immediately.
or cardiac death, you may be entitled to substantial financial
We
compensation.
must
Call
win immediately.
509-7150 for a free case review, recent recalls and medical warnings, report dangers and deaths from defective defibrillators and pacemakers manufactured by Guidant and Medtronic corporations. Pacemaker and defibrillator patients, be advised that Guidant and Medtronic corporations have recalled thousands of
How
heart devices
dare
due
you
to malfunctions
send
reportedly
stories.
causing serious injury and death. To learn about your rights and the recalls resulting from injury, heart attack, heart failure, or sudden cardiac death, or if you are unsure about the
Now we
manufacturer
face
of your
elimination
defibrillator or
again.
pacemaker, call now for a free case review and recall information. 1-800-509-7150. Call now.
Have you heard about the $253 million Vioxx verdict?
Estimates of how many people have been injured by Vioxx, Celebrex,
This is
and
so
Vectra.
relevant.
If you used one of these drugs and had a heart attack or stroke, I want to talk to you.
The $253 million Vioxx verdict may lead directly to money settlements all over the country.
If you used Vioxx, Celebrex, or Vextra, don't put this off.
Call 800-620-4422. That's 800-620-4422.
Attention cholesterol patients. Baycol, a cholesterol-lowering drug taken by 700,000 Americans, was recently pulled off the market. Baycol has been linked to serious injury and death in patients using this drug. The problem? Baycol causes severe muscle destruction, weakness, fever, nausea, vomiting, and possible kidney failure. Baycol users call the personal injury attorneys at the law offices of Donald Andrew at 1-800-545-6409. That's 1-800-545-6409.
Have
Message
we?
is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
Sarah.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-600-4243
Bye, Casey.
or go to mesobook.com.
This is Eric Dick. If you had a fire, call me at 833-7
Goodbye,
rights.
everyone.
I'm Jim Adler, the Texas Hammer. I avenge injustice for the injured, the mistreated, and the ignored.
Jim Adler fights for your medical bills. Jim Adler fights for your lost
What?
wages. Jim Adler fights to get what's yours.
An 18-wheeler rear-ended my client who needed painful neck surgery. I hammered and put $84,535.17 in his pocket.
Let Jim Adler fight for you.
Call 713-777-4000.
713-777-4000.
This message is for postmenopausal women who have taken the osteoporosis drug Fosamax. Studies have shown women who take Fosamax for over 3 years have a highly increased likelihood of spontaneous femur fractures. If you took Fosamax and suffered a femur fracture, you may be able to recover monetary compensation from the manufacturer. To learn more, call Gordon and Donner at 333-3333
No.
or visit fortheinjured.com.
This is a drug alert. I'm Terry Krupin. My law firm fights giant drug companies. Here's what we're tracking right now. Recently, the makers of Peter Pan and Great Value peanut butter have recalled some. If you've eaten Peter Pan or Great Value value peanut butter and then had fever, diarrhea, or abdominal pain that required medical attention, you may be entitled to compensation. We're Brown and Crouppen. Call us for free at 421-HELP.
Attention men, have you been diagnosed with skin cancer? One of the most widely prescribed drugs used to treat erectile dysfunction has been linked to the development of melanoma, a rare and potentially fatal form of skin cancer. If you've taken a prescription erectile dysfunction drug and were later diagnosed with a skin cancer melanoma, you may be entitled to compensation. Call Sokolov Law now, 1-800-250-2035 for your free legal consultation. That's 1-800-250-2035. I'm an attorney spokesperson.
3 times in a row.
Boys who took the drug Risperdal. The manufacturer of Risperdal has been fined $2.2 billion by the U.S. government for unapproved sales.
If your son took Risperdal and suffers from gynecomastia, a condition in which
I hate
boys
you,
develop female
oxygen
breasts,
stars.
call the Goldwater Law Firm right now.
Your son's gynecomastia may have been preventable. Call us right now. Both you and your son may be entitled to substantial compensation.
This $2.2 billion fine proves the makers of Risperdal broke the law. They recklessly put your son's health at risk and should have to pay for what they've done. Call the Goldwater Law Firm right now.
Call us right now.
You're safe.
Both you and your son may be entitled to substantial compensation.
A number of boys have already received out-of-court settlements from the manufacturer.
If your son took Risperdal and then developed breasts, call 1-800-634-4173. That's 1-800-634-4173.
Uh-oh.
Fosamax users, did you or a loved one sustain a hip or femur fracture while on Fosamax? Call 1-800-LAW-FIRM now. That's 1-800-LAW-FIRM.
The FDA has warned that the antibiotics
National
Ketec
television.
and Tequin may cause serious injury. Ketec has been linked to liver toxicity, jaundice, liver failure, and
Bye,
possibly
Sarah.
death. Tequin has been linked to low blood sugar, high blood sugar, diabetes, and death. If you or a loved one has suffered serious injuries from Ketec or Tequin, contact Hissy Kintz toll-free at 1-866-275-4454 for a no-charge evaluation of your rights.
Attention, if you've had a corneal transplant, this message is for you. A new study by the CDC says that Renew with Moisture Lock may be to blame for your corneal transplant.
If you used Renew and have had a corneal transplant or suffered blindness, call the law firm of Robert Goldwater right now.
I'm attorney Bob Goldwater. Bausch & Lomb is a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and you may be entitled to a large cash award. Call me immediately.
Call 1-800-DRUG-LAW. That's 1-800-378-4529.
Warning! If you or a loved one has been seriously injured by the antidepressant drug Zyprexa,
Oh,
the
gee,
osteoporosis drug
sports, my
Fosamax,
favorite.
or the arthritis drug Vioxx, know your legal rights. Call Angel Reyes and Associates now.
I'm attorney Angel Reyes. I've helped thousands of people recover money for injuries from dangerous products and drugs, and I can help you too. There is a time limit, so you must call now. 1-877-308-7900. 1-877-308-7900.
Warning. Warning. Warning colonoscopy patients. The FDA has issued an alert. After reports of kidney injuries associated with the use of oral sodium phosphates, a WestP product used prior to a colonoscopy. These products are Visicol, Osmoprep, and Fleet Phosphor Soda Easy Prep. If you or someone you love has experienced kidney problems after a colonoscopy, you may be entitled to compensation. Call 1-800-943-6567 for a free consultation. Call 1-800-943-6567 now.
Fosamax is a medication primarily used to promote bone growth in patients suffering from osteoporosis. According to a recent study, Fosamax has been linked to the degenerative bone condition commonly known as dead jaw. Symptoms of dead jaw can include exposed bone, loose teeth, and significant chronic pain. If you or someone you know has taken Fosamax and experienced unexplained jaw deterioration, call our lawyers at 800-579-2913. Attention former Boy Scouts.
If you were sexually abused while in the Boy Scouts, call the Goldwater Law Firm. The Boy Scouts have created a bankruptcy trust worth hundreds of millions of
We
dollars.
face elimination 4 times in a row because of the sentence, stupid
Find out if you may
stars.
qualify in under 2 minutes.
Call us immediately for a free, confidential case review. Call 1-800-494-8686. That's 1-800-494-8686.
Attention Yamaha Rhino ATV drivers. There have been widespread reports of severe injuries and deaths due to rollover accidents.
If you or a loved one were severely injured with crushed arms, hands, or legs, had massive surgeries, or died because of an accident on a Yamaha Rhino ATV, call attorney Jim Adler right now.
Don't put this off. Call me immediately. You may be entitled to a cash award.
Call 214-320-1111 or 817-320-1111.
Attention Raptiva users. The FDA says the psoriasis drug may cause brain infections.
This is serious. If you or a loved one took Raptiva and developed a brain infection, PML, or other complications, Raptiva may be to blame. Call the national law firm of Parliament and Associates right now.
If Raptiva caused your injury, this announcement is for you and your family. Call now to protect your rights.
Call the national law firm of Parliament and Associates now at 800-610-0088.
Attention men, have you taken Androgel or another testosterone therapy product and suffered a heart attack, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, or any other cardiac event? Scientific studies indicate that the use of testosterone therapy or low-T products may double a man's risk of heart attack. If you or a loved one took Androgel or another low-T product and suffered a heart attack, stroke, or any other cardiac event, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Call Schmidt National Law Group now for a free confidential consultation.
Place your trust in the nursing home to treat your loved one with care and give them the special attention they require. When an incident occurs that brings up questions or cause for concern, the law firm of Robert Goldwater can help.
I'm attorney Bob Goldwater. If you suspect that a loved one has been abused or neglected,